that was a beautiful thing that you was introduced to baseball, which, like you said, you pursue that as an avenue out. But a lot of people is introduced to the streets.
Absolutely.
You know, like they introduced to it like at a very young age. Hey, shorty, ride with me.
Hold on. Let me set it up. Basically, I was talking about my brother, right? Him going in and out from prison. And I said, Black and Hispanic mothers in the hood experience a different type of heartbreak when they find out that their sons, they ain't really the saints that they want them to be. Then I said, it ain't race. I said it's culture. It's a culture that my brother adapted. Because if it was race, then how did my brother adapt? He's not Black. He's a white Hispanic. I'm a Black and white Hispanic, technically. So
I'm a Black Hispanic. Poverty, man. It's poverty because, you know, you don't have the, and I'm not going to compare, but it's unfortunate we have to compare and contrast. And I'm from Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn. I was raised in Brooklyn. So, and I remember them high rises. I remember all the buildings and shit, that shit. But my family, we moved out of there quickly. Thank God. it was intense. So I don't know who I would have became if they didn't get me out of there. Because what the poverty was doing to me, I understand how your brother was pulled in because your mom and
what you mean by poverty though? What you mean?
Being so like, you know, stacked on top of each other, that shit ain't normal, dog.
Oh
like,
man,
that shit is just not like. How many floors was in your building?
Oh, it was 5. It was 5. It was like,
okay, so I came from.
It wasn't a project building. It wasn't. We there's a lot of projects around
so
here.
Y'all wasn't in the project, so I wasn't in the projects at first until we started, you know, dipping out of where we were living. But our building had like 21 floors. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody was doing good. So and then your mom in there, and I had a Hispanic mom, Catholic, you know, praying every day and da. And I'm like, all that Jesus praying you doing and all that dude doing on that wall ain't bringing no bread to this house, yo. It ain't bringing no money. So you start figuring out how you gonna take care of your family. Because I don't know about you, but my pops wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Pops ain't here. Uncles ain't really, they ain't helping because they trying to survive too. You know, we killing grandma because grandma can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? So it forces you to find the way out. Now, I'm not saying that we should not have found something else because other things and other opportunities are there, but the guy on the corner is either preaching the Bible or he's slanging rocks. And then the guy in the business suit scared to be outside talking to us and tell us, yo, don't do that. Stand in between them. You know, he ain't doing that. So imagine where we lean because of that. That's why I say poverty. But I'm not trying to give it an excuse because I saved myself. You know what I'm saying? And my mom saved me as well.
That's all I hear is excuses, bro. I'm gonna be honest, with all due respect.
It's all I hear
is excuses. Here's why. In order for you to be a drug dealer, you got to be a smart dude.
You have to.
Right? Why does that same smart dude not do something else that's smart too? Like there's
he can, but who's there to show him that other something
exactly.
else?
So now we go back to culture. We go back to it ain't race. It's single parent homes. Anybody could be a single parent. Any race could be a single parent. But when you make it a culture and you make it a movement for it to be, you know, you get more benefits, right? Right? If you're a single mom with 4 kids, you know what I mean? Single.
What do you mean by you get more benefits?
Well, my mom did when she came to the United States. Well, we came from Puerto Rico, but when she came to the States, she got benefits off the rip. Everything was free.
And you know, and I had a
single parent.
But then I also had a mom, rest in peace, that felt like them benefits were also excuses. So she didn't want to take them shits.
Absolutely.
Then you got those moms that don't want to take them and they want to work off of their back to do it. And I'm like, yo, lady.
I'm saying though, but let's isolate the issue, right? We're talking about, I basically rebutted with what you said with excuses, right? Because I believe that the same way somebody can make a bad decision, they can also make a good decision, knowing, and because they know right from wrong. My brother knew right from wrong, right? We grew up in a you know, you knew right from wrong early because they will tell you. So the whole poverty way to look at it is, to me, I just don't think it's a solid argument. I think it might be a little silly one just because I grew up in it and I actually lived 25 years in it. I never been to prison. I never did time. Now, could I have been influenced? Of course. I feel like it's a when you say it's poverty, I think we're not taking accountability for the single parent home.
Oh yeah. You wanted me to dive all. I didn't know we was gonna do.
We
all
have
that
to
shit.
though, right? I could see your argument though. Don't get me wrong.
We're gonna be here. We're gonna try to save the world if we're gonna sit here and talk about everything behind it. These are conversations that my wife be trying to get me to have, and I'd be like, "Yo, son, that's way." We don't even got enough time in our marriage to talk about that conversation. Dog.
I think it's all accountability, though. I think that's
I'm 100% with accountability. Like I'm agree with this. I agree with this.
If you have it, look, if you have a conversation with a drug dealer, right, or somebody that been in and out, or that keeps going in and out, right? If you have just no cameras, no nothing, they'll tell you themselves. I chose this. I chose to do this. I chose to be a follower, not a leader. Trust me. So there's no way that you could tell me it is poverty. Can poverty make you think and make you do certain things? Probably. But for me, it definitely did. It made me look at life, and it made me look at fast money a whole different way. But I personally feel like that's what mentors is for. That's what people that are successful is for. That's why it's important to create a culture of going to school, being educated, basketball, baseball. Like, see, I was trying to play baseball to make it out the hood. Why couldn't I try to find or try to get a scholarship and instead of baseball to go, do something?
You could have just fill out your FAFSA.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many opportunities.
Fill out your FAFSA.
Oh, you do fill out your FAFSA because FAFSA, you'd have identified that.
Yeah, well, I went to college for free. I went to college for free, bro. So I don't know.
Because FAFSA,
I knew about FAFSA
for free.
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, you do your FAFSA? Because if you do your Van, you got some kids going through school right now. FAFSA, if you do it on time and early, you'll be surprised that there's money for you not only to go to college for free, there'll be money for you to even pay for rent. If you do it correctly.
Yeah, hey, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Joey. What's up, Joey?
Hey, what's up with y'all fellas? Lou,
what's poppin', Joey?
Who introduced you to baseball?
A man that my mom eventually started dating. Yeah, so he became kind of like the mentor that I needed.
Right.
He was in and out of prison. And he was an addict as well. He was in the program. So when he came out the program, he came out sharp. So he taught me like a lot of things.
Right. I know that I came in on like the back end. That's why I wanted to try to get like some of the concept on what y'all was speaking of. And that was a beautiful thing that you was introduced to baseball, which, like you said, you pursue that as an avenue out. But a lot of people is introduced to the streets.
Absolutely.
Like they introduced to it like at a very young age. Hey, shorty, ride with me. This is what you do to get this money. This is what you do to knock these broads off. So that's kind of like the same way that you was introduced to that. A lot of people was introduced to the streets in that same fashion. So that's excellent, though, that that he.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I think you missed the part when I said my father did 17 years in the feds, and my brother's been in and out of prison. He's done over 8 years of his life in prison. Right. I'm in the hood as we speak. I know everybody out here. Like I got a lot of respect just because I be speaking to them and I'll be telling them like, yo, bro, let's squad up. Let's do the right thing. They laugh. Right. They know, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be talking to them. They be like, bro, this is the only thing I know how to do. I go back to the argument that I presented. Santiago was that it ain't race, it's culture. Because how did if you say that all black people or this is a black culture thing, then I think that's just inaccurate. I think Hispanic or anybody could adapt a culture that's drug selling, that's kingpinging, that's scamming, that I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So he says that it's poverty. That's the reason why people do it. It could be. I don't see how that's not valid, but that's also a scapegoat and an excuse to not be held accountable, right? For the lack of the lack of 2-parent households, the lack of mentorship. Right. 2 black young kids into Hispanic young kids in the hood. That's just my opinion.